And, yes, welcome to the recording and the meeting and all that good stuff. Yeah. Different rules and regulations alike. Those are on my docket. I mostly just need to fine tune them a little bit more and then transfer them to the World Anvil. But everything on my dock has been on hold because of finals and whatnot. Speaking of that, this week again has been finals work and pretty much nothing but I am at a point now, um, wherein I only have a few more things left to do, and I can easily do them. So I'm back on track to get back to work, and we're good to go. Um, I'm gonna try to just shoot forth a whole bunch of the work I've been backlogged, so I can get that up on there and get us ready for launch. At least the parts that I need to finish uh, sooner than later. I'm going to take this week as well to look over the backstories and start approving them. Anyone who's a lore keeper, or feel free to hop on in and join with that. Sky, I know you know what my backstories I approve, so you're pretty good to do that yourself. Um, but yeah, no, that's my thing. Um, Other than that, my face has been neck deep, and yeah, that's what I have to discuss. I know Legacy has some things to bring up. Yeah, we will have a document. My intention is the form that they like character submissions are sent to will then be sent to another form, which are the approved characters. Um, yes, essentially that is what's going on. So you know, when I start properly looking them over for approval, rather than just like, yeah, that looks fine. I mean, I've looked them over, but for like actual, this is approved, you're good to go. Um, I intend to slap them over to the approved form or
Alright, on
document.
my end I've got 3 things.to cover, 2 for departments and 1 just an update on my regional end.
Sounds good. And yeah, we'll give people a week to do any adjustments upon approval. So we'll be like, hey, your character's been approved. You have a week to make any changes. If you do make changes, let us know. If you don't make changes, then carry on with the information they gave us. And once we have the approved character roster, we can then go through the uh, character slot rollout. And then any leftovers who wish to continue being civilians can transfer to civilians, and they will instantly get into civilian. Because I know for a fact we're not going to hit the civilian cap. Yeah, I can see about working up a list of keywords for things that would be like an instant no go. Um, Things of that nature. Sky can probably help with that too. I mean, I'm pretty open to a lot of backstories, so it's gonna be hard to find one that I'm like, no, that's not okay. The only thing would be like if it's overly absurd from Syrik, or um, what's the word for it? Just outright wasting our time. Like I'm going to be playing as the Doom guy with all of Doomguy's armor and weapons, and I have a +3, Vorpal machine gun. Yeah, like I killed a god when I was 12. That's you're level 1, my dude. So yeah, those are the only things that are really gonna be like, no, denied. But there might be a few exceptions to that rule. But generally, those are like the hard and fast. If you see anything like that, just instantly be like, nah. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, from what I've read, people's backstories they're all pretty reasonable. I mean, we have a few that are a little funny, um, but nothing that's just like outright ban worthy. Or
We're banning cheese. They're never gonna find cheese.
that'd be sad. Imagine a character who's cursed to never be able to get near cheese, but their favorite food is cheese. So they physically cannot be within 30 feet of cheese. Man, that'd be an evil curse. Anyone who's sending out the approvals. So if you approve a character, you just be like, hey, you're approved. You have a week to make any adjustments.
Two departmental things are for training and RP events. First off, training, we're going to be opening up staff applications within the next week or two. I'll post details about this in the training team channel, and if it doesn't catch any of their eyes specifically, I'll assign it with a deadline to finish up. Second one is for the RP events team. Go over the departmental charter I've sent in the channel, and I'll be concluding that as your departmental regulations by the end of this week. Also, there's a launch assignment for getting initial events up, but I'll put details in the channel.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I've been seeing some rumblings in that training chat, so. Oh, since you're RP event head right now, Sky, if you could give a repeat legacy for them, or like post your tippy tappy into chat so they can read it. Oh yeah, if they're breaking any of our terms of service or rules, that is an instant blab too. That kind of went without saying, but for full context, yes. If they break TOS, then yeah, no. Regarding malleability of backstories, upon approval, if they want to like expand their character's story as play progresses, I know a lot of players do that. That is fine. Generally, they'll want to work with their DM for approval of these things, because I mean, randomly saying I have a cousin who happens to be the Lord Mayor of this town that we're about to venture into. He'll totally get us in. That may not work. Now, if you were to do that, you want to add that Lord Mayor as your backstory mid-game, and you happen to have gained some contacts within the higher class, you could say that contact happens to be your Lord Mayor friend. So that is something you could do within our rule set to allow your backstory to work within our rules. Yeah. Lore keepers. Yeah. If they're without a DM, lore keepers would be the best one. Because lore keepers are the ones who can like go in and update our logs about what their backstory is. So in all honesty, their backstory should be on the character sheet, or at least viable to us in some way. Because we have our form-filled backstory, which gives us a bunch of information as DMs to work with their character. But that's something that we need to have access to. Especially if they are like working with part-time GMs rather than a proper group. Yeah. Google Doc linked in the form works. Mm-hmm. As a side note, since this has been brought up again, just as a reminder, on the World Anvil, the map of Kydron, the planet Kydron, if you want to know where cities are, where countries are, the hamburger menu in the top right, the little line, you can click on cultures for different regions. You can click on settlements for different cities and the like. You can click on terrain for different terrain features. Generally, these are still a work in progress because it's not like a high priority for us for launch, but this will provide you with a lot of those details that people have been asking about. So like pre-made cities that are already about in the area, or like what's this river called? I'll be where you'll find it. For Doladur, that one is I'm actually working on a region map. I've been working on that one for a while now. It's actually been on a back burner for a bit. I know our Doladur team has their region map as well, so I need to cross-reference and make sure everything's good and get with you guys once I get back to working on that. It's been like 4 months since I worked on it, so since we last discussed me making these maps. Um, but that since the island's so small, it's really hard to actually place these locations. So I want the region map to be where you guys look for that particular region. Yeah. But in reality, they have their stuff. They know where things are located. It's more for like the world anvil's uses that I'm wanting to get this up. Yeah. That's what I have there. For rolling out slots, um, I know once we are good to go, like once characters are approved, it shouldn't be too long thereafter. So like right now we don't have an official date, but because of my like 3 week, 2 week, I don't remember how long I've been fucking working on finals. Because of my delay, I need to finish my things still before we can even go launch things. But I'm like kind of pushing out character slots, getting approvals for them sooner, so that way when I am done, we can just hit the ground running. Yeah, and Legacy's
Last
been
two
doing some pretty good
things,
stuff too.
as all 4 regions have heads now, we should start directing Living World questions to regional heads so we don't fall behind or accidentally get lore mixed up, and also relieves some of NERP work.
That's a good
That
point.
said, also for NERP responses, make sure to tag them with what region they're relevant for, like type Eldaria or Baracia or Dolider at the top of the message so we can go back and document them.
Yeah, I can do that. I actually believe we have a role for each of those regions, so I can just tag that role.
Yeah, all you do is at ping dollar or whatever, and it'll ping people who have it.
Yep.
Which is the same thing you'll do for when you post them your mission.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Civilians have the full character sheet that adventurers do. They can build items. They can do all that good stuff. The civilian sheet or the character sheet actually has defaulted to the civilian class. So you just kind of change that whatever class you choose. That is another thing that is on my docket. It's a really easy fix. I just need to make it so this character sheet lists subclass, subrace, and then one other thing. I don't remember what it was, but it's on my docket. So yep. Oh yeah, no, our RP events draft is pretty, and our RP events training system that we have in the Google Drive. There, I was looking them over myself, and I was like, yeah, there's not really much I think needs to be changed. They're pretty good. So um, so at this point, we can just combine the two channels together. Report boxes tends to be the one that's used more often. Um, whether it's a suggestion or hey, this is an error that needs to be fixed. Especially since we're gonna want to save more channels because we're gonna have some channel bloat. Um, so yeah, we can just kind of combine suggestion box and report box. Yeah, one of the things that I've been working on is actually relating to a lot of my side stuff to hopefully help pay for artists because my job search is still ongoing, and that is working more towards my Patreon that I've been working on, which is almost ready to launch. So I'll likely be launching that, and you may have noticed that there's new roles in the server, being the patron role or patron. There's two patron-based roles. There's going to be a little section for patrons there until I get a thing set up properly for that. So that's relating towards anything D&D that I work on, anything relating towards my games that I work on, just anything in general. And mostly gonna be using those funds to pay for my artists because I spent $9,000 last month on art, and it's a lot. So, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. There's a reason why.
The last bit is for Elderia itself. I've completed some basic breakdown on the 4 starting storylines and I'm currently working on finishing up the public-facing introduction, writing out the cities for the first 4 starting zones, and I need to coordinate with whoever's writing the launch events for RP. Also, what the heck, NERP 9K on art?
Yeah, no. I have multiple projects I'm working on. Specifically, 3 that are actively having artists on them, though 2 are now, or one's now on pause. Uh, which is the Spheres of Divinity project. I'm still working on the mechanical text, but the art is on pause because there's like 6 artists and they pop things quick. So I need proper full funding before I can get them back on the job, which is why I'm like both looking for a job and thinking about Patreon. But yeah, no, art's expensive, yo, and I don't want to underpay my artists, so I'm gonna pay them what they need.
Respectable.
We are. I would like to do the culture festival opening, yes. So get that set up, and get with me if any questions you may have with that. I'll post what I can answer. Yeah, and if the region head is around, as Legacy has just offered, yeah, get with them. They can know pretty good stuff. See, I didn't want to just do that because it's not fully related to the living world. I can see about doing that because one, I know it will work. We will guarantee slots this way. And I will guarantee supporters, but that's not going to you guys, and that's my issue with this because if I have a Patreon that's accepting people for the world, I want to be able to pay you guys with the funding. So yeah, and if it's just paying art for a book that admittedly will be used for the living world, it's not really going to towards you guys, and yeah, it's an issue. So
Well, speaking of map people, we have 3 people that want to be cartographers.
a third one.
Or 2,
Yep.
and
Okay.
one wants to be creation.
Nice. Gotcha.
So I think you are the map cartographer person head.
Yeah.
So that's 2 for you. Uh, creation is me and you. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then one wants to be like creation and mission assistance.
All right. Well, for them, obviously creation has its own setup, but for mission
Yeah.
assistance, that's just essentially running them through the mission writing portion of things. Make sure they actually know how to DM. If you don't know how to DM, it's going to be difficult to actually make a balanced mission. So, DM training. But I know at least one of the map makers. I don't have them on the list, so
Yeah, the warrior,
yeah,
whatever.
warrior.
Yeah.
So like,
Even which that they know them. So
yeah, I mean they're in my cartography server, so they're, yeah, I mean if they don't have the tag already, which I'm sure they do, they have the tag.
okay. I'll yell at the other person later today then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just it for training right now since we only have one full-time DM, which means we're still having the issue of kind of need more DMs to get people. But
Yeah, yeah. And regarding paid volunteer or paid DMs and all that. Yeah, it's complicated. I know it can be done. I technically already do tax stuff for my own work. Um, it gets complicated. So unless I know that we have a guaranteed DM population, we have a guaranteed player population that will pay for Patreon, um, and then I wouldn't even attempt. So yeah. Though it would be easy to adjust my Patreon to be like, here's this particular tier that's specifically for players, and every time you have a group of players sign up for that tier, you know the DM is assigned, and bam, boom, boom, done, and then the DM gets all the payments for those players. So it can be done. It will get complicated on my end for tax purposes, but I've done it before in terms of like
Besides that, yup,
managing
I'm
stuff.
pretty set on my end. Going to put the tasks in training and RP events text channels soon. Then I need to
Also,
meet with NERP to hammer out some metaphysics.
Yeah.
also,
Also,
yes,
speaking of that,
Fritz.
yeah, NERP, eventually if the demand is there I can work on that system with you, but for now probably won't be for a while.
Also, yes, Fritz. The barrier for entry to certain things is higher. Like to be in, like, say, political, you pretty much have to swear off not playing.
Well, for political, it's more like not
But
playing in a region, but yeah.
yeah, as for DM, we also have the rules set up where we kind of have to like be tougher on you to make sure you're fit to DM,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't run into any issues. As for RP events, it's less lax, uh, things like that. The higher ones are going to be DM and political.
Yeah. And for DM, a lot of the actual training portion of it, as they were saying, it's a lot like pretty heavy in terms of like what you need to do. Once you actually get into it, there's not really that much.
Yeah,
So it's more to see if you can do this. If you can, then you're good.
like normally we put aspirants on a week basis of their stuff because that's what we expect you to do as a DM.
Mhm.
But because we haven't really been operating, we've been lax on that. But once we're like full swing, then yeah, you're on a 1 week thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that is good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Now that Legacy are now done with your whole blippy blops and your posts that you want to discuss for today, is there anything anyone else would like to bring up, or things they would like to note down, or the like?
Besides that, yup, I'm pretty set on my end. Going to put the tasks in training and RP events text channels soon.
Nice.
Then I need to meet with NERP to hammer out some metaphysics.
Mm-hmm.
Also, speaking of that, yeah, NERP, eventually if the demand is there I can work on that system with you, but for now probably won't be for a while.
Yes. Also, I haven't. I know we're going to be working on some more metaphysics stuff, but I feel like we've done this before, working on metaphysics. Like I think it was like 2 months back, 3 months back.
Uh, Hang on.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean we can. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to work on it some more. But yeah. Um, nice. More P events are good, especially for launch. Um, also, Sky, I know you're good with this. At the end of our session, remind me to post the meetings that I have not posted yet because I have not posted the last two meetings.
Hang a sec.
Yeah, no worries. Um, if you want, Frozen, you and I can like get together and just have a class creation powwow, or someone else in creation can help out. And now that I'm not like neck deep in finals, so
Oh, what new book were you talking about in Living World
oh
Questions?
the Dragonlance book. I have not looked through it.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
mostly because I heard it's like not worth buying,
Yeah, kind of the same
which
for
makes
Spelljammer,
me
but
sad because I haven't looked at Spelljammer really either. But I really like Dragonlance as a setting, and it makes me sad that
yeah,
it's not worth buying.
I just need to
Nice.
know
I
what.
did partially, but that was for planes. This is more of an OOC linking into it that came out of me reading about Pathfinder and non-Vancian magic. Also yes, it also stems from all the extra supplements and how we should approach them in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, this did just remind me. We do have the. I can't remember what we called it, but the major reference document for all of our rules. We'll probably want to release that pretty soon. I know it's pretty fleshed out right now, but just if you're in like leadership or whatnot, just give that a look over, make sure it's all good.
No, sec. I gave you the tag.
Anyhow, yup, we can wrap up meeting here since everything's good to go.
Indeed.
And yes, I always need more people working on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a never-ending workload. Anyways, appreciate everyone's help, all that good stuff, and time you've been putting forward to help out here and whatnot. And I'm going to close our meeting here.